Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Ask Deadly. This is the weekly show where I read you guys' questions and I do my best to answer them in about 10 minutes or so. Let's get started. The first question comes from LBD Vexeth, and he's asking, what is the best place to find Mosin Ammo in DayZ? There's only one 100% sure way of finding ammo for the Mosin every time, and that's off of a fresh Russian helicopter crash. It almost always has a box or some loose rounds that are scattered around the helicopter. But everything else is just sort of RNG and luck based. You just gotta continue to search civilian locations that may not be searched as often. The places that I've been going to a lot has been the Northern Highway group. Around Tizzy, there's a lot of civilian houses, Sinistock, and also Natazdino, Belota, and going towards the Kaminka checkpoint. Those have been areas that I've been finding Mosin Ammo in the most because it's the least traveled. It's just based down to luck. So just do your best, continue searching, and eventually you'll find some. Also, don't forget to check cars. Cars are really good for spawning Mosin Ammo in 308. The next comment is from Tankin. The underground servers aren't statistically 1 and 2 in the world. Where did you get your facts, Dilly? They're both top 20, but not 1 and 2. My apologies. They're the number 1 and 2 first-person servers in the world. So that is a very important fact. More people play first and third than first person, so you got to compare it in a slightly different category. But I wasn't clear on that, so thanks for correcting me. The next comment comes from the Swiss Honey Badger. I really hope that you stay doing DayZ, but every once in a while continue doing Battlegrounds is nice. Battlegrounds and Escape from Tarkov will be frequently on the channel during days where I don't have any really good DayZ clips, or if I want to do a little bit more variety here on the channel. I do 7 videos a week, so every single day, and I've been doing that every single day for a very long time. So sometimes to fill this 7-day schedule with just DayZ content can be done. Since I play 5 hours a day, I'm usually pretty lucky to get into some really funny and cool encounters. But there are times that I don't, and it can be tough and challenging. And you guys know it, I tend to upload my videos extremely late at night because I'm working on whatever I'm doing the day of. So I'm recording this, I'm making this video, and then immediately when it's done, it's going live. So it can be difficult. So PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds and Escape from Tarkov are 2 brand new survival shooter games that I will be covering on the channel. Escape from Tarkov may be more than Battlegrounds, but I do plan on trying to get better at Battlegrounds, so I have some really cool content to offer and do some really interesting broadcasts as well. The next question comes from Violent Light. Do you play any RP servers? If so, what's your ideal server to play on? DayZ Underground has to be my favorite server in DayZ ever, just because it's an encouraged RP server, so it's not required, but it is highly recommended, and it just makes the encounters extremely rich without them feeling fake or cringy or cheesy or limiting the player base. So if you want to be in a situation where you feel killing another survivor is best, then you're in control to do so. But you're not limited by these invisible rules that could eventually get you banned on a server. And I'm not like, if that's what the way you want to play DayZ, if you need those restrictions to like conduct your stories and enjoy the game, then by all means. But for me, I can't. I need to have that violence or that intensity and the unknown present at all times, or else I just don't find the game very fun. And I'm pretty bad at roleplay. I mean, the gunslinger gym stuff, like, let me be honest, that's really light stuff. You know, we're just doing it for fun. If there's any way I roleplay, it's really just for a comedic sense, just to have some laughs with a few friends. That's basically it. So I kind of stay away from RP stuff. I'm interested in the idea, but I won't be doing it like hardcore on the channel at all. Next question comes from Blagich. Hey Deli, I was wondering, why aren't you interested in vehicles in DayZ? Can you give us your thoughts on vehicles in the current version of the game? Well, unfortunately, the answer to that question is I like vehicles in DayZ, they just don't currently work. They were recently reintroduced into 0.61, but they just still don't function. So well, if you're probably wondering why don't they function, when they spawn in, they work fine. So if you find a vehicle that is fresh right off persistency wipe, you should be able to drive it around. Mind you, you will experience stutter and lag. But the moment that the server goes down and comes back up, there's some positioning problems, and for whatever reason, they just won't start and they won't drive. Or if they will drive, you'll be warping all around to the point where it's just too much of a headache and it's not worth it. So in the short, the vehicles are just not where they need to be right now, and until then, I can't use them. Do you think that DayZ will reach beta this year? I hope so, but it's probably going to be super late in the year. If we take a look at 0.59, 0.60, and 0.61's current development, which is about 5 or 6 months per patch, it's going to be very difficult, I think, for 0.63 to reach that December milestone for the end of the year. So 0.63 is currently the internal beta milestone. And with the rate in which 0.61 is going right now, I doubt we'll see 0.62 until May or June. I really hope that I'm wrong, and don't take those months as fact. I'm just basing it off of the previous development cycle and how long it's actually taken to get some new patches out. We are definitely due for a patch, so if we can get one before May, that would be pretty awesome, and then I would be a little bit more optimistic about reaching beta by the end of this year. I'm talking like beta, off experimental, ready to go, and 0.64 is currently like being worked on or considered for experimental branch. I think it's probably going to be like a beta experimental patch by the end of the year. I really hope I'm wrong though, but that's just, if I was a betting man, that's what I would be putting my money on. Next question comes from Compsy. Do you think PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds will get a mod like DayZ, and if so, would DayZ Standalone completely die out because it would become very unpopular? No, I don't think that DayZ will die if PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds got a mod similar to DayZ, unless there was some significant changes to how Battlegrounds currently functions and exactly how pliable the game will be for the modders. I think it's without question somebody is already trying to build a DayZ mod for PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Even if they don't have access to mod the game yet, they're planning on it. So it's almost a sure thing at this point, since modding is confirmed for Battlegrounds. So we'll see. I mean, I'll probably play it. It should be pretty interesting. And if it's fun and it works, then we'll have to see. I think no video game can really kill another game. I think the game kind of needs to do it itself. So DayZ's survival is currently 100% on DayZ right now. If those developers can make the game and it functions as promised, then I think DayZ's fine. So it's really just on them. They'll have to shoot themselves in their foot to kill DayZ standalone. And that's just my opinion. This question is interesting, and finally, something that is pretty unique. I've never read this before in the comment section. What do you want to come back to DayZ that's already been removed? That's cool. I mean, there's been a lot of shit that's been taken out of the game. I don't think a lot of people notice that. The orange sherbet, the lemonade, the root beer, the Guy Fawkes mask, I don't think ever made it into the game, but it was in the game files. The bayonets for the Mosin and the AK, and all the weapons that had like working models for them. The SKS, I believe, even had an SKS or a bayonet for it. Those are currently taken out until the melee functionality for those weapons is introduced. The slugs were removed, but they were never functional anyway because they were only in the game when the shotguns weren't. So it was a very early part of the game that you could find slugs. And the only reason why slugs were in the game was just for the loot economy, just an item so it can be sorted around to see if the loot system was functioning correctly. So that's a lot of stuff. The long range scope on the Mosin, I believe that's pretty much confirmed. You're going to have to find a rail system and use a weapon bench to attach the rail to the gun. And then when that happens, you can put the hunting scope on there or different types of optics. If you've played Escape from Tarkov yet, it's probably going to be similar to that game where you have to get the mount systems to get the optics on there. So that's probably going to be coming back in the future. I mean, I don't know. They mentioned it a lot, so I hope to see that come back into the game. But I'm going to make it really easy for you. Bring it all back. I want to see every item that's been in the game already introduced back into the loot economy. And the diversity with the food is a big one. I would like to see that come back. It's not that important though. It's not going to make or break this game. But it would be cool to see that the things from the old days make a return. Just for nostalgia reasons. That's right. Nostalgia in an early access game. That's kind of fucky, if you ask me. But anyway, hey, that's the answer to the question. Alright, 420 Maple Boy, let's tackle this oyster. Listen, the game is decent, but all the DayZ YouTubers really need to stop sucking Bohemia's dick. Yo man, listen, I'm not doing any dick sucking. I don't know what you're seeing or what you're hearing, but that's not happening here in the Deadly Nation. I can confirm. I'm not being paid by those guys to solicit secret messages, to just, you know, the government's not telling me to do things or say things. I'm just making videos of the games that I like, and DayZ Standalone happens to be my favorite game. and I want to see it succeed, just like everybody else does, and it's really easy to be pessimistic. Hell, if you watch my live stream for even 30 to 45 minutes, you'll know that I'm not the biggest advocate for this game. I am very salty at times with its current state, but I love it. It's a great game. I want to see it do well. So I see this comment sometimes in the Silos video too, when people were saying that Minder sucks Bohemia's dick and all these different content creators. Fine, it's the internet. You can do whatever you want. You can say that I suck someone's dick or if Minder sucks Bohemia's dick. The dick sucking is irrelevant. We all just want to see this game do well. All right? And that's it. That's nothing else to it. I'm not benefiting financially by talking bad or talking good things about Bohemia. I probably wouldn't be beneficial. Actually, you know what? I would benefit more financially in right now if I started making slam content, because that's really popular. People are liking it. People are angry. People are rioting. They want to hear the hate. So if I wanted to jump on the money train, I would just make a fucking hate video about DayZ standalone, because it's really popular right now. So, hey man, I thought this was a good question though. I understand where you're coming from. In fact, if you go to this video, I'm not hating on this guy. There was actually a crazy interesting discussion in the comment section below this reply, and one that I actually enjoy reading through. So believe it or not, there was some intelligent discussion from this comment, and that's why I wanted to address it. All right, with all the dick sucking out of the way, thank you so much for watching this Ask Deadly episode. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know what you think in the comment section below and leave your questions for next week. Also, a reminder that I do stream every single day starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and Sundays at noon. You can check that out by clicking the link in the description box. And I'll see you guys for some DayZ content, most likely tomorrow, some Escape from Tarkov and PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds content later in the week. Have a good one, guys. We'll talk to you soon.